Oh god, is that Jake? What is he up to this time?
Hey everyone, the prodigal son has returned. Time to enjoy some good food.
Excuse me, sir, could you please lower your voice? We're trying to enjoy our meals here.
Oh, sweetheart, don't worry about it. I can do whatever I want in this place. My brother owns it.
That doesn't give you the right to disturb others. I'm sorry, he's my brother in law. Let me talk to him. Thank you, Kim. I understand it's not your fault. Your grandfather's legacy deserves better. Jake, you know the rules. You can't just barge in here, create a mess, and harass our customers.
Oh, look who finally decided to speak up. Miss Perfect Kim. Always follows the rules. Well, guess what? You're my sister in law, so you gotta be on my side.
Mark and I built this business together, and it's not about taking sides. It's about respecting our customers and upholding the standards set by my grandfather.
You can try all you want, Kim, but you can't get rid of me. My brother will always protect me.
We'll see about that, Jake. The diner's success isn't built on entitlement.
Oh, come on. Don't be so stiff. I was just joking around. Get me a nice bowl of noodles, huh?
My name is Kim, and I was a 40-year-old woman living in a small town with my husband, Mark. We had been running a beloved diner called Sunflower, which had been in my family for generations. The diner held a special place in the hearts of the locals, all thanks to my late grandfather's unwavering dedication and impressive talents. My grandfather was truly a remarkable man. Despite battling cancer, he remained resilient and never complained about his declining health. He continued to serve his loyal customers until his last breath, pouring his heart and soul into every dish. It was his commitment that made Sunflower the cherished diner it is today. Before his passing, my grandfather had anticipated the challenges that would lay ahead of us. He knew that the responsibility of running Sunflower should be carried forward, and he entrusted me with this task. Of course, it was a big responsibility, but I was proud and ready to inherit this precious place. However, after my grandfather's demise, I noticed a change in Mark's attitude towards the diner. He started expressing dissatisfaction and saying things to imply that it should be his duty to take over as the owner. Mark argued that he was a better manager, ignoring the fact that I had better cooking skills. The sudden shift in his attitude shocked me. We had always worked as a team, complementing each other's strengths, and I had never seen him express such entitlement and selfishness before. Sure, we had arguments from time to time, but I would have never seen that coming. It was disheartening to witness his growing discontent and his attempt to undermine my role in running a business that my own grandfather had left me. I was growing more and more impatient with such nonsense. I didn't start any heated argument with him though. After all, it was my husband and I cared about him. Tried to reason with Mark, explaining that my grandfather's decision was well thought out and based on his deep understanding of our roles in the diner. I reminded him of the love and trust my grandfather had placed in me, hoping that he would understand the significance of honoring his wishes. Plus, I was the one who understood all the recipes and maintained connection with frequent customers. I had closely observed my grandfather's cooking techniques and learned how to replicate those delicious signature flavors of Sunflower's foods. However, instead of finding common ground, our conversations only seemed to exacerbate the tension between us. Mark remained adamant and he wasn't willing to compromise. It seemed to me that his desire to take over the diner overpowered any sense of unity we had built over the years. and it was truly heartbreaking to me. As days turned into weeks, I found myself torn between my love for Mark and my duty to carry on my grandfather's legacy. I felt an immense weight on my shoulders, unsure of how to navigate this strange situation. Sunflower used to be my safe place, but now it felt clouded by this terrible conflict, and I felt guilty for letting the argument happen in the first place. Despite such hardships, the diner was actually doing well. Under my management, Sunflower continued to flourish, much to the delight of our loyal customers. They marveled at the familiar flavors, saying that it felt as if my grandfather was still present in the kitchen, guiding my every move. Their praise and support served as a reminder that I was on the right path. At some point, it was the only thing that kept me moving. Little did I know that the challenges ahead were far from over. One day, Mark's younger brother Jake returned to town after a period of aimless wandering. Jake had always been a bit of a troublemaker, never holding on to one job for too long and often causing concern within the family. He had been moving from place to place, and at some point, no one knew where he was. His arrival brought mixed emotions because we all hoped that he had turned a new leaf, but at the same time feared the chaos he could potentially bring. Anyway, one of the first things Jake did was to pay a visit to the diner. However, his presence soon proved to be disruptive. I still remember that moment when I saw him walk past the door. I thought to myself, oh God, is that Jake? What is he up to this time?
Hey everyone, the prodigal son has returned. Time to enjoy some good food.
Excuse me, sir. Could you please lower your voice? We're trying to enjoy our meals here.
Oh, sweetheart, don't worry about it. I can do whatever I want in this place. My brother owns it.
That doesn't give you the right to disturb others. I'm sorry. He's my brother in law. Let me talk to him. Thank you, Kim. I understand it's not your fault. Your grandfather's legacy deserves better. Jake, you know the rules. You can't just barge in here, create a mess, and harass our customers.
Oh, look who finally decided to speak up. Miss Perfect Kim. Always follows the rules. Well, guess what? You're my sister in law, so you gotta be on my side.
Mark and I built this business together, and it's not about taking sides, it's about respecting our customers and upholding the standards set by my grandfather.
You can try all you want, Kim, but you can't get rid of me. My brother will always protect me.
We'll see about that, Jake. The diner's success isn't built on entitlement.
Oh, come on, don't be so stiff. I was just joking around. Get me a nice bowl of noodles, huh?
Didn't want to make a big deal out of it. I told him to move to a more secluded table and got him food. I went to call Mark, and the moment these two saw each other, they started becoming even more disrespectful. Jake was like the more terrible version of Mark. He behaved boisterously, creating a commotion that disturbed the peaceful ambience we had cultivated. To make matters worse, he carelessly dropped his food on the floor, showing no regard for the effort that went into preparing it. His actions were in stark contrast to the value we held dear at Sunflower: respect, kindness, and an appreciation for good food. To add insult to injury, Jake shamelessly enjoyed a hearty meal and left without paying. It was clear that he saw the diner as nothing more than a source of free food, and he would ignore the hard work and dedication that went into its operation. In the following days, Jake audaciously returned to the diner, hoping to indulge in more free meals. He seemed to have no difficulties taking advantage of the family. His behavior threatened the atmosphere we had strived to maintain, and that deeply troubled me. Frustrated by Jake's presence and his attempts to exploit the diner, I decided to confront Mark and his brother's actions. I urged him to address the situation and put an end to Jake's disrespectful behavior. However, to my surprise, Mark refused to do anything about it. He chose to turn a blind eye to his brother's terrible behaviors. It seemed that Mark's loyalty to his sibling outweighed his responsibility as my husband and business partner, and that saddened me greatly. I was only growing more and more distant from Mark. As if everything wasn't bad enough, Jake was extremely calculated. Sensing the conflict in our marriage, Jake seemed to see an opportunity to manipulate the situation to his advantage. He began visiting the diner more frequently, engaging in secretive conversations with Mark in the kitchen. Their hushed whispers and exchanged side glances only fueled my suspicions. Jake's visit to the diner also became increasingly annoying. It was as if he took pleasure in testing the boundaries, pushing against the values that Sunflower stood for. His audacity threatened to tarnish the diner's reputation. I was not just angry, I was tired. It was exhausting to keep up with their unnecessary drama. As a way to escape, I immersed myself in the art of cooking. I found joy in the kitchen like I have never done before. It was during those moments that I could momentarily block out their secretive discussions and concentrate on providing exceptional meals to our customers. I made it my mission to ensure that they remained happy and comfortable. I paid extra attention to their needs, going above and beyond to create a welcoming atmosphere. By providing exceptional service and quality meals, I hope to shield our customers from the discomfort Jake's presence caused. Slowly but surely, my efforts paid off. The smile on our customers' faces, the appreciative nods, and the kind words of gratitude reassured me that I was succeeding. Despite the chaos in my personal life, Sunflower remained a place where people could find joy. But of course, that meant I was working twice as much as I used to. During one of our diner's scheduled days off, I decided to pay a visit to Sunflower to catch up on neglected cleaning tasks. As I approached the door, I realized it was unlocked. A sense of unease washed over me as I cautiously stepped inside. Who would show up here today? It was supposed to be just me. To my disbelief, I found Mark and Jake seated at one of the tables, deep in conversations. They had architectural plans spread out before them, and it became clear they were planning a redecoration for the diner. Confusion clouded my thoughts as I tried to comprehend their motives. It felt like in my gut I knew exactly what was going on, but I couldn't quite accept it. Mark? Jake? What is going on here?
Kim, now that you've caught us here, it's time you face the truth. We've discussed it, and we believe it's best for the diner if Jake and I take control. We have new ideas and fresh perspectives. You have had your chance.
How can you say that? This diner has been in my family for generations. My grandfather entrusted it to me.
Come on, Kim, let's be realistic here. You're not a businesswoman. Mark has the skills to manage the diner better than you ever could.
Skills? Managing the diner goes beyond just skills. It's about persevering the heart and soul of the place.
God, enough with that talk. Love and passion can only take you so far, Kim. You're too stuck in the past. No, Mark, I have seen this diner flourish under my management. The customers love the food, the atmosphere. They feel a connection to my grandfather. I have honored his memory, and you want to tear it all down? Oh, please. Your attachment won't pay the bills, Kim. We have investors interested in our new vision. This is not just about growth and profit, it's about the community. You both have no respect for that. Mark, how could you do this to me? To us? The decision has been made, Kim. It's time to move on. You'll get your fair share in the divorce settlement. This is what's best for everyone involved.
Divorce? And you just decided to tell me this now?
There was never a right time. Don't act so naive. You knew it was coming.
Fine. You can put an end to this marriage, but you can't take Sunflower away. I will fight for what's rightfully mine for the diner's legacy. As we spoke, Mark gave me the divorce papers. The words written on those sheets declared that our marriage was over. It was an unimaginable blow, as the vows we had once exchanged now felt hollow. The pain cut deep as the reality hit me like a punch to the gut. Mark had manipulated me, exploiting my dedication to the diner, all while Jake secured financial support to purchase my half of the diner's ownership. In this twisted turn of events, it became clear that Mark and Jake had been working together, planning and scheming behind my back. The weight of their actions threatened to crush me, but I knew that I couldn't let their betrayal define me. I had a choice to make: to succumb to the pain or rise above it. The path ahead would be filled with legal battles, emotional turmoil, and rebuilding my life from the ground up. But I was determined to master every ounce of strength, to prove that the Sunflower Diner deserved it all. And so I summoned my strength and sought legal counsel to contest Mark and Jake's claim over the diner. As the legal proceedings began, I soon realized the uphill battle I faced. The brothers had managed to hire reputable lawyers, making their case appear intimidating. But I knew justice was on my side. I turned to the online community for support, sharing the story of the diner's origins, the deception I had endured, and the threats to its legacy. I was amazed by their response. People rallied behind me, expressing their outrage at the brothers' deceit. The community organized peaceful protests, demonstrating their unwavering support for Sunflower and its rightful owner. Amidst the legal battles, a breakthrough occurred. As I delved deeper into my grandfather's will, hidden clauses surfaced. The will explicitly stated that only a direct descendant could be entrusted with the ownership of the diner. This revelation became a turning point in the case, exposing Mark and Jake's attempts to take control away from me. As the truth unfolded during the legal proceedings, it became evident to everyone involved that Mark and Jake's actions were driven by greed and manipulation. The court ruling down came in my favor, acknowledging my rightful claim as the true heir to the diner. With the legal victory, I embarked on the task of rebuilding the diner, determined to breathe new life into the establishment while honoring my grandfather's legacy. I poured my heart and soul into its restoration. The support of the community continued to fuel my dreams as they eagerly returned to Sunflower, embracing its revival with open arms. Meanwhile, the consequences of Mark and Jake's tricks caught up with them. They were ordered to pay a significant sum as a result of their action, and their promises to the investors were never fulfilled. Unable to meet their obligations, they were forced to flee the town, and I never had to see the two of them again. In contrast, I found peace and joy in the knowledge that justice had been served. The diner, once threatened by their betrayal, thrived under my care. As the years passed, Sunflower became a beacon of hope and inspiration. I cherish my role as its owner and protector, ensuring that my grandfather's legacy continued to live on. The happiness I found in my work and the unwavering support of the community became the foundation for a future that was brighter than I had ever imagined. And as I stood behind the counter of Sunflower, greeting the familiar faces of loyal customers, I knew that the triumph over Mark and Jake had forever shaped my life. I am now happier and more grateful than ever.